The following announcement is brought to you by the Xtreme World Order.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, soldiers of the Xtreme, hello and welcome back to that Xtreme Wrestling channel. My name is Samson, I am the Xtreme Gaming Guru, back again, bringing you guys another episode of AFK, or Away From Controller, that series where we put the controllers down and we talk wrestling shop. Anyways guys, how you doing? How you feeling? Hope everything is going well for you in your life. Today on AFK, I want to do something that I did last year, and that is my WWE 2K24 wish list. Now this is features that I'm hoping to see in this year's game. You know, it is coming up on like Royal Rumble season, and I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, the trailer for WWE 2K23 came out around Royal Rumble season. So yeah, maybe we'll see some of these features in the newest game. Now I do understand that you know, it's a little late in the development cycle for them to be making any changes. These are just features that I'm hoping, you know, they've been thinking about, that they've been making changes to. This is what I want to see in WWE 2K24. Now, to start things off, I want a true next-gen experience. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are still rocking their Xbox Ones and their PlayStation 4s. And I get it. It is tough to move on. Things are expensive. But I want a true next-gen experience. It's just the way it is. I want the better graphics. I want the better detailed models. I want more wrestlers in the ring at once. And if we gotta like sacrifice the last generation consoles in order to get that, I'm willing to make that sacrifice. Now maybe that's just me, but hey, this is my wish list after all. Now I'm not much better off than the people on the PS4s or the Xbox Ones. I'm just rocking a Series S, so you know, I'm bottom of the line next generation, so I'm gonna feel the pain too. But along with that next generation experience, you know, the better detailed models for the wrestlers, more wrestlers in the ring at once. I'd really love to see them work on the lighting and the shadows. One thing they never really get in the WWE games is the lighting. If you've ever went to a WWE show, the lighting is very much a big part of, you know, the entrances and things like that. There's light beams shining everywhere, various colors that are all timed with the music and stuff like that. And that's something that's always been lacking, I guess, to say, in WWE games. So I'm hoping to see them make some improvements to that. I want, you know, dark shadows. I just want to see shadows everywhere, lights everywhere. I want the darkest of darks, the lightest of lights. Is that too much to ask for? I don't think so. Now moving on, besides graphics, another thing I really want to see is more closer camera angle. They have made some adjustments, but I'm still not feeling it. I'm still feeling too far away from the action, you know what I mean? Like, I want to, the detail on the character models, I want to be able to see it. I want to see them bring the camera much closer, much closer. And speaking of cameramen, the one thing I did ask for last year, didn't receive it, but I would really love to see like an actual cameraman on the outside of the ring. You know, a nice polygon model holding a camera, and I'd like to see that dynamic camera in the ring. And not only that, I'd like to be able to interact with said cameraman and perhaps Irish whip somebody into him, or hit a tope and accidentally hit the camera guy and, you know, actually see that camera angle. I think that would be incredibly badass. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Dynamic cameraman. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. But besides the dynamic cameraman, I'd also just like to see more camera cuts. I find I'm staring at that static screen too many times. Like that static cam, I'm looking from that angle far too much. I want to see more dynamic camera cuts, more crazy angles, get really in touch with the action. Now, next thing, let's see here. Better match pacing. I know right now, it's you can only do so much with sliders, folks. You can only do so much with sliders. But they have done a lot of stuff in, ways of transition moves and stuff like that in WWE 2K23, whereas, people are sliding to the outside, setting up those outside dives, or they're crawling to the corner and stuff like that. So they have worked on match pacing, but it's still a little bit off. Like, we need a little bit more animations, people just crawling to the ropes more, and not necessarily crawling to stand-up position. Maybe they just lean on the ropes on the bottom rope or something. There just needs to be more dynamic positions. Some of the animations need to be quicker. I'd love to see like a different bump animations, quick bumps for when it's early in the match. Maybe hit that clothesline and the wrestler just bounces right back up. Whereas later in the match, you hit a clothesline and he's going to hit the mat a little bit harder and stay down, I like to see just better match pacing overall. Now, another thing I would love to see return to the WWE 2K series is chain wrestling. Oh my gosh, I cannot tell you how much I miss chain wrestling. Right now in WWE 2K23, the opening of the match just feels off. Like, it doesn't feel realistic. Because there's no chain wrestling. There's no grappling at the beginning, really. You're going right for a move, or you're going right for a strike. Or if you're playing online, chances are it's a running strike or a running grapple. So we really need to kind of bring back chain wrestling, because it just opens up that beginning of the match, and it makes it feel a lot more realistic. When both wrestlers are, full stamina, they're going to be countering moves and each going for grapples and holds until somebody eventually slips up, and then boom, the first move gets done, and then the match kind of goes on from there. So we really need chain wrestling to come back. Another thing I'd like to see is strikes and grapples. Like, once I have you in a grapple hold, back in the day on, say, like No Mercy, you used to be able to, punch a guy in the gut and still hold the grapple, still be able to do a grapple move. And I find it's without being able to strike in a grapple, it's really easy to predict, when to hit the reversal button. So I would like to see strikes and grapples, strikes to the head, strikes to the gut, while still maintaining that grapple. And then you can, kind of throw people off with your timing, as opposed to the way it is now, A little bit easier to get those moves off. Another thing I'd like to see them improve is the top rope corner grapple situation. A lot, like on TV, you see the wrestlers get up there, they don't just put the person on the top turnbuckle and then immediately suplex them off. They get up there, they trade strikes, they vie for position up there. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You get reversed, you get knocked off. But I would like to see them improve the top rope corner grapple situation. Another thing I would like to see here, let's see, flying moves through tables. Oh, this has been bugging me for years now. We all know the situation. You got that special top rope move, maybe it's a Phoenix Splash or, Swanton Bomb or something like that off the top rope. And, you can pull it off as long as the guy's on the mat, but the second you lay your opponent on the table, all of a sudden you're doing elbow drops or splashes. What the hell is that? I did not sign up for an elbow drop or a splash. Give me my swantons through tables, my Phoenix Splashes through tables. You guys gotta fix that. Come on, 2K, come on. Moving on. I want more moves per wrestler. Alright? I can't remember what year it was, but it was SmackDown versus Raw, and we had different grapples. So it just opened up so many moves. You'd have hold up and hit grapple, and you do a collar and elbow grapple, or you hit left and grapple and you do whatever other grapple. But we just need more moves per wrestler. I find a lot of moves get repeated during my matches, and I hate to see it. Give me more options. They're always saying simplify the controls. No. We've been playing these games forever. Give me super complex controls. Give me so many moves that I forget that they even exist, and they surprise me every once in a while when I actually do them. That's what I want. That is what I want. Now, speaking of things I want, like I said, this is my wish list. I would like, finally, after all these years, wrestler-specific grunts and voices. Yep. Really simple, right? Really simple, but I'm sick of, everybody's got the same punch grunt and kick grunt. All the ladies are sounding the same, all the guys are sounding the same. I want to hear some other grunts in there. I want to hear Ricochet's grunt, or, you know, you guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, wrestler-specific grunts, I don't think that's too much to ask. One thing that probably is too much to ask, ragdoll physics. I've been asking for this for years. I just think ragdoll physics would make the game so much more dynamic if every time you hit a power bomb, that guy landed in that power bomb dynamically and it looked different every time. I don't know if it's possible. I'm not a video game programmer. But maybe even just like limbs that ragdoll. So maybe the core stays, you know, in its rigid animation, but the limbs can end up in whatever position or something. I don't know. I just really think ragdoll physics would not only help just make it more dynamic and more random as far as the movements. It's not all canned animations. But it would also make things like weapon physics and stuff so much better. So much better. But speaking of weapon physics, that is something that we desperately need change. I think the weapons need more weight. They need to work on the animations. We need not only like quick strikes, but we need heavy strikes with weapons. We also need to be able to grapple with all the weapons. I think that is super important. That is something that like AEW Fight Forever did pretty good. So that's something I'm hoping to see. Speaking of that, I'd love to see new weapons. Like, come on, how about some barbed wire? How about some thumbtacks? AEW did it. Why can't we get it in our WWE 2K games? I mean, come on, guys. But not only that, I want to see, you know, dynamic breaking of the weapons. I don't want to see a table break the same way. I want to see legs get pushed out. I want to see tables collapsing, not breaking like the Japanese tables. Maybe the table doesn't break. You know, there's so many different things they could do there. You know, with chairs, I'd love to be able to sit the chair up in a seated position and do some moves on it. Once again, I'd love to be able to, you know, do moves on the steps. That's something I've been asking for a long, long time. Another thing I'd love to see is realistic blood physics. I would love to see that make a return. I don't think I've seen that since, WWE 2K12 or something like that. So I want to see, you know, not only realistic blood on the face, but I want to see it dripping onto the chest. I want to see it dripping onto the mat. I want to see it on the hands of the wrestlers throwing punches. I want to see it on the forearms and everywhere. I think it would be great. Moving on, we need some improved weight detection. Alright, I feel like every time I'm a smaller guy and I go up against a big guy, I'm immediately limited to like 3 moves, and that's gotta stop. They need to open that up and make it so we can do a lot more. I don't know if it means you have like a regular move set and then a weight detected move set. We should still have equal amount of moves, whether or not you're going up against a bigger guy or a smaller guy. You can't feel limited with that. Next thing I'd love to see the return of 2-button reversals. Now, instead of kicks and like strikes and grapple reversals, I'd love to see like quick reversals or strong reversals. So maybe quick reversals, you just quickly reverse into another position, you know, maybe another grapple position so you can initiate a grapple. And then strong grapples are kind of the way we know them, where you end up doing a big power reversal or something like that. Other things I'd love to see, new arena types. You know, I'd love to see the dirty clubs and all that stuff. I like the UK arena, like you can see in this video. But I just want to see more, you know, arena types and put them in Create Arena so we can actually play around with them. Let's see, what else do we need? Oh, no more My Faction. Get rid of My Faction and the My Faction exclusives. If you need a money-making mode like that, I'd say somehow combine My Faction and GM mode. But the most important thing, if you want us to play that mode, is if we unlock something in the new My Faction GM mode, we need to be able to play it in our regular game. I think that is super, super important. This My Faction mode, it is not working, alright? This is not FIFA. We don't want that kind of stuff. But last and not least, things on my wish list for WWE 2K24, I want to see a Bray Wyatt showcase. I think we deserve it. I think we need to see it. We need it as fans to get over the loss. But, yeah, guys, that's my thoughts. That is my WWE 2K24 wish list. Features I hope get included in this year's game. What would you guys like to see in WWE 2K24? Let me know in the comments section below, or you can shoot me an email at thatextremewrestlingchannel@gmail.com, or hit me up on Twitter at TXWC4Life. And yeah, hopefully it won't be as long between this video and my next video, but if it is, I hope you have a good one, and I will talk to you then. Goodbye and good night. Bang. Too sweet, guys. Too sweet.